Chicka Chicka Hall of Fame! Fame! The world's gonna know your name! Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is our Hall of Fame, our positive video where we will put a match, a moment, and a segment into our Hall of Fame so it will live in infamy forever and will never be deleted. And we just give some things for nice little praise. This is Baby Sam. How are you doing, Baby Sam?
Excellently. I'm well dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, we are.
My best attire.
Yeah, this is exactly what I would wear to your wedding, to be honest.
Please
so
do.
This is what I'm going to wear. Welcome to this series that we actually really enjoy. It's one of our favourite series. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Maybe go watch some of our previous Hall of Fames to see if there are matches that or moments that you would enjoy. And we're going to see if we can add some brand new moments, brand new matches, brand new segments to the Hall of Fame. Sam, what is your Hall of Fame match you would like to add to the Hall of Fame?
That is an excellent question, Sam. I am going to put in, it's the Fatal 4-Way from 2017, Brock versus Joe versus Roman versus Braun.
Oh, that match.
It is a belter.
It's not as good as you remember, sadly, but at the time, wow.
In a time where, frankly, WWE was on its knees, it was dull. Jinder Mahal was WWE champion at this time.
Oh my God, he was.
We'll go back to Happier Thoughts, but just to put the context in there, Braun was so over. No. Braun was so over. And
oh my God, Braun was the hottest thing on wrestling.
Everyone looked amazing. Braun puts Brock through 2 tables just consecutively, just batters him. Everyone looked amazing. It is the definition of a proper hoss match.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Joe looks great because Joe's just had his match at Great Balls of Fire.
Where did he won? This is Joe at his best.
Joe at his best run. Brock shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
That was the moment that you could have took the title of Brock and protected him. You could have just took him out of the match, therefore let it to somebody else, and then you could have done a rematch at Rumble or Mania with whoever you did.
Yeah.
WWE, the problem with WWE at the time is not the fact that they weren't booking badly, they were, is they also weren't taking any chances.
No.
Like, at all. There was 0 chances being took. And you're like, just have Braun win the title. Big moment. Right, he can lose it to somebody else a month later. It doesn't matter. Or 2 months later. And then you could do a rematch at Rumble when Brock turns up. Because Brock does turn up at the Rumble. Because it's Braun and Kane.
Oh, God, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, with absolutely knees and punches him in the head.
Brilliant.
But I love that match because it's just a hoss fight. It is the right word for it. Everyone looks great.
Yeah.
And everyone's hot for it. All 4 acts are hot. Even Roman Reigns looks good in it.
Yeah, and he gets pinned, so he kind of takes the heat off Brock winning a little bit because everyone's pinned Roman because everyone hated Roman. And I remember the segment with Joe, Roman, and Brock in the build-up to this. Braun hadn't come back yet. And Joe says to Brock, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." Like, everyone's like,
it was the moment.
Joe was brilliant.
It was the moment that Joe. It's the only moment in my eyes because everyone's like, "Well, Joe missed opportunity to have been world champion." Kept getting injured all the time. Kept constantly getting injured. You can't keep putting on someone who keeps getting injured. And he's also a little bit older and stuff. AEW don't care about age, but that was the moment he could have been and should have been the world champion. And I think people would have been really happy with that how SummerSlam ended.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that knocks me for that match is Brock winning. But absolutely, go and place that into the Hall of Fame, Sam.
It's a big one. There it is. A lot of horses in there. I'm very strong. So, Sam, what is your match that's going into the Hall of Fame?
It is one of my most favourite matches as a child. It's going to shock you. You probably don't even know about this match. You probably don't know this match exists. It's Eddie Guerrero and Tajiri versus Team Angle at Judgment Day 2003 in a ladder match for the tag team titles.
Did not know that existed.
This match is awesome. So first of all, Chavo gets injured. That's why he's not in the match. And out of nowhere, Eddie just goes, "And my partner will be Tajiri." And we're like, all right. That's literally how it goes. Like, it's going to be Tajiri. And it's a clinic of ladder match perfection. You think about everything that all those guys do, they did it with a ladder. So you're talking about Team Angle do their thing where they hold the legs and then they jump over, put a ladder underneath, up we go over. Bang. We're talking about Tajiri does his springboards off the thing, into the ladder, off they go. It's awesome. It ends with Eddie Guerrero being like held by like Charlie Haas, I think, or Shelton. I can't remember which one's holding it. And Eddie was like, Tajiri, green mist through the ladder. Eddie wins, gets the title belt.
Nice.
It's a phenomenal match, and this is how good this match was. And this is Stone Cold and Eric who are having their argument. They're in a box at the top, and they cut back to them, and Stone Cold is saying something, and he gets his microphone out because he's going to say something. And he goes, "Before I say anything, can we just say, give it up for that match that's just there? That's one hell of a match. Didn't need to do any of that, but that's how good that match was. It was a good pay-per-view, Judgment Day 2003. We had a stretch match between Brock and Big Show where Rey Mysterio returned. It was a really, really good pay-per-view. They reintroduced the Intercontinental title and had a battle royal with former Intercontinental champions, in which Christian won. Really good pay-per-view. If you like Sable and Trish kissing, that's also on there. Sable and Tori kissing, that's also on there. But that's generally one of the most pushed things on it. They do a bikini contest because they're both in Playboy. But that tag team match, if I ever recommended a ladder match for tag team, people go, "Oh, we'll go to these guys, and I'm just sat there going, these guys stole the show. Eddie hadn't been main eventing yet. Tajiri had barely been on TV. He'd just been Cruiserweight champion, I think, back end of that, and then was like, Team Angle were new. 5 months in. They've done their WrestleMania match with Benoit, Rhino, and the Guerreros, and it was good. This put them up on Sam. You need to watch this match.
Shelton Benjamin in a ladder match is always going to work.
First one.
Really?
First one.
Oh, wow.
And I hadn't seen a tag team ladder match yet. Nope, that's a lie. I've seen TLC, but I've not seen a 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 tag team ladder match because you don't do them. And I think it's a waste to not do them because every time they do, they always have to have 7 or 8 men in them. Or even 1-on-1 matches don't exist. Just have the match, let them build it. It will always be awesome. It doesn't have to have 12 men in it. Just put 2 or 2 on 2 and it'd be great. And this match, Sam, I couldn't recommend this match more. This is a phenomenal tag team ladder match that's been lost, sadly, to a bit of history. And I don't know why it's been kind of forgotten about. I don't know because it's just on Judgment Day. Put this on SummerSlam. Put this on WrestleMania. This would be heavily lauded.
Maybe it's because of the names in it. They don't automatically stand out.
That's what I'm saying. It's smaller names. Charlie Haas and Tajiri, who cares? Shelton's coming in and out. Eddie Guerrero's obviously Eddie Guerrero. And I think Judgment Day 2003, WWE have been a little bit up and down. Put it on a Mania. Put it on SummerSlam. I think people are like, this is the greatest, one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. So can I put that into the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Eddie Guerrero, Tajiri versus Team Angle at Judgment Day 2003 for the Tag Team Championships in a ladder match. We're now into our moment. So just a small moment in a match, could be in a promo, in a segment of some kind, a small moment within these sort of things. Sam, what would you like to add to our Hall of Fame as a moment?
One of my favourite moments of all time, and it's one of the more obvious ones, but sometimes you've just got to go obvious. There's a reason it is obvious. Edge returns.
Which one?
2020.
2020. Oh,
2020.
I watched the documentary that followed it.
Yeah.
And genuinely can't believe this happened to me. I cried.
Me too.
I cried watching that doc. It's lovely watching someone who it matters. It doesn't matter if you like wrestling or not. Watching someone get to do their passion, especially if they haven't been able to do it for 10 years, is just such a moment that you cannot get away from. Beth's crying. You can see he's trying to stop crying when he comes out. Yeah. The crowd go mad. Sadly, I knew it was happening. Which, everyone, Edge is returning. How do you know? People can't keep anything to themselves. But Sam, talk to me what that moment means to you.
I remember Edge retiring in 2011, and it just shook me. I didn't know that he had injuries.
No one did.
No, and that really, he was really one of my favourites at that point. And
it's him and Punk, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and almost what elevated him so much was his retirement speech.
Yeah.
I remember that retirement speech, and you just felt for him so much.
He didn't want to do that speech.
No, he didn't, and you just saw how much it meant to him, and yeah, it was the idea that he just got to come back and do his thing, and it's his face. Because Edge is one of those. I think he is one of the most passionate men about wrestling that there has ever been.
You know, in his high school yearbook, it says most likely be WWF champion.
Yeah.
There it is.
And
he was on a talk show. Not him. Bret Hart was on a talk show. He was in the audience and asked Bret, "How do you get into wrestling? How do you go wrestling?" It's when you know all these things.
He is. When you watch the documentary, you just can see how good a person he is. He is such a good guy. It's that face.
Would you have had him win instead of Drew? Or
No.
Were you still happy with Drew?
I think it's perfectly done. It was Drew's time. But it's that they ruined it because of all the camera cuts. But there's a version on YouTube where they don't have a bazillion cuts and it's the right cut.
They missed Ziggler's first spear.
Yeah,
he then injured AJ Styles. Because
Yeah.
AJ Styles tried to do the biggest spear to make him look great and then bust himself up. Idiot.
Yes. But when you actually see the shot, you can see the silhouette in the smoke. and he's coming through the smoke, and he's doing the face.
Trying not to cry.
It's real. That's the
Oh,
beautiful
yeah,
thing
it's
about it.
yeah.
It is absolutely, and he's always had the best facial expressions, I think,
Yeah, he does.
of anyone. It's
Yeah.
insane. And it's the music, it's just him looking around. I've not seen a return like that because everyone's usually really hyped up. It's
Everyone wanted to cry.
authentic.
Everyone wanted to cry.
It's
as well.
emotional as well because it's not like Punk's. I think Punk's for me is better just because of how much I love Punk. But there's something about it. Whereas Punk could have come back anytime he wanted, and he's finally come back. Edge wanted to do this in every single bone of his body for 10 years. Thought he could never do it again, and suddenly it's like he's just gone back in time.
Crashed his bike.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Crashed his bike with Sheamus.
Part of it was the spiritual lies. He realised he could do that, and it was just a progressive thing. That is just an emotional moment to me, and I'm so glad it happened just before COVID.
Yeah, could you imagine if the year after, because he won the Rumble the year after.
Because look at Christian's return.
Yeah.
It's just...
Sam, there couldn't be any more better moment to go in to the Hall of Fame. I would love you to throw Edge's return in 2020 into
one of
the
my
Hall
best favourite ever moments in wrestling. There you go. You will be there forever.
My moment I would like to add is very different because this is one of my first moments as a wrestling fan where I'm just like, okay, wrestling's a bit nuts. There was a couple that happened beforehand. Kurt Angle had kidnapped Stone Cold as a moment that had happened beforehand during the invasion, and Nick pretended to push him off a bridge, but then push him into a pool. And I'm there going, okay, wrestling's a bit crazy, but he wasn't actually going to push him off the bridge and stuff because you're like, well, he's not going to. And then out of nowhere, the NWO return.
Oh.
And they hit The Rock with a hammer, which is already a bit mad anyway. If you think about it, it's a hammer. So Rock's getting put into the back of an ambulance. And then Hogan, in a lorry, in a truck, drives full speed into the ambulance, completely smashing it within an inch of its life. Everything, bits go everywhere. And I'm not going, oh, I've just killed Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's what's happened there. Hogan has killed. And that's when I looked at wrestling and went, okay, you're insane. You are mad. This could be like a soap opera. I'm in. I don't know what's going to happen now. I'm not just going to assume that someone's not going to get pushed off the bridge or anything like that. Hogan ran over The Rock in an ambulance in a semi-truck. And you can remember, NWO had been on telly weeks.
This is your introduction to them as well, really.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were. I didn't know who they were. I barely knew who Hogan was. I think I knew it because it's Hulk Hogan. I didn't know who Nash and Hall were. So for the fact that these guys took out The Rock, who was obviously the biggest star who I knew, with a hammer, and then just ran him over. It's really... I think he said something like, I'm going to ran over that son of a bitch, or something like that. It was really stupid. And I just look at that moment and I go, that is a moment in time that I'll never be able to replicate. When you just watch it going, oh, you're actually going to do... And I still kayfabe. So I think, oh, I've killed The Rock. He's actually dead, By the way, he returned like weeks later.
Yeah.
He's
I'm guessing with barely any bandages.
Nothing. He was just in a handicap match with Stone Cold versus the NWO, which was a main event of Raw. Like Stone Cold The Rock versus the NWO. Like, why is that not a pay-per-view, lads? Come on, lads. Let's work it out. But what do you think about someone in an ambulance getting run over by a semi-truck?
It's mental, but it's just what that used to be back then. Those kind of mental things. I remember
you don't
had
see
Austin Triple H with the forklift.
You don't see those anymore.
A rare example was Braun in the ambulance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was that kind of thing, and that's why I got so over because it was just mental.
Mad.
Yeah, and
wrestling should be
mental.
mad. Wrestling has to be mad. Like when Darby Allin's doing his mad stuff, that's why he's massively over. I don't like a lot of the stuff he does because I think you're trying to be dangerous. You can do things safely or whatever. But look at the match that they had during COVID. It was Darby and Sting versus Cage, and I can't remember what it was. They might have been Ricky Starks. And they're in the building and they're crashing through the floor and all that. It's clearly fake, but so entertaining. Wrestling should be silly. Wrestling should be a soap opera, and having someone ran over by a semi-truck in the back of an ambulance is fantastic. That's what I'm looking for from my wrestling. So what do you think, Sam?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a Hall of Fame. I picked my Hall of Fame moments. Yeah. I love that moment. Anyway, The Rock getting run over is a Hall of Fame moment. We now move in to our segment. So this is the entirety of the segment rather than just a moment. The whole segment. Sam, what segment would you like to add to the Hall of Fame?
You will have no idea what I'm about to do here.
Okay.
You will know the segment.
Right.
You could have 500 guesses. You wouldn't put it in here. Okay. I love this so much. And I think it's brilliant, and it just typifies what wrestling can be. Wrestling can be silly and stupid and brilliant. Musical chairs.
Yes!
WWE
Oh my
played
God.
musical chairs.
Oh, Eugene is the is the
Guest
GM
chair or
of
something.
Raw.
I love it. So you've got Jericho, this bald guy that I don't know.
Tomko.
There you go.
It's Tomko. It's Christian's
Right.
problem
You've
solver.
got Ric Flair, Jerry Lawler,
Stacey.
Stacey, and
Tajiri.
the
Coach.
The coach.
The perfect 7 people.
Perfect. Because this is what it used to be. You had more characters.
I love this segment so
It's
much.
brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's so
It's a
funny.
number 1 contenders match.
Oh, it is! Jericho gets an IC title match.
Title shot for it.
Could you imagine if Stacey won it?
Well, I think it was the women's.
Right.
So yeah. So
Every single moment, every single chair is a thing.
the brilliant thing, yes, every single chair, there's a moment that happens. There's a story beat.
Let's see if we can recreate. So Tajiri is.
I know exactly.
Tajiri is eliminated first.
Yeah, Coachman laughs in.
And then he does the red mist, I actually think, or the green mist.
The green mist.
Into his eyes. So Coachman is just blind. So he then gets eliminated.
Just to sit down on thin air.
And then
you've got
Jerry Lawler goes next.
Yes, because he tries to have Stacey sit on his lap and he's like, oh, why can't
he sits on Stacey.
Yeah. So he then leaves.
Ric Flair is wooing all the way
Ric
around.
Flair makes this.
Yeah, it's
we
what
all
Ric-
talk.
Because
At
at first he didn't care.
This is the everyone commits to this. Everyone, even the actual wrestlers behind the wrestlers, they commit to this. Ric Flair, obviously the 16-time world champion, everyone starts playing and Ric Flair's like, what are you doing? We're not playing musical chairs for a title shot. This is ridiculous. Then it goes and then he sits down and then he slowly starts doing well and he's like, I'm going to get the world title. And then this next round after Jerry goes, he's really getting into it and then he literally, Stacey's about to sit down, he just shoves her. He just shoves her off and then just kind of, so it's from this point of view, he shoves her and then just turns around away from the camera and just does this. Just instantly as if it never happened. Playing really innocent.
But then he's there going, really,
so
I'm
then
in,
he's
I'm
delighted.
in, and the music
And then it
just
stops
turns off,
immediately,
and
he's like, no, let me back in,
And then Jericho, and the most serious Tomko, perfectly perfect person, just gets the chair, wallops him with the chair, sits down. Sam, I frigging love this moment. This segment is amazing. I absolutely wet myself watching it. Every single person is inch perfect. I don't know who wrote it.
Yeah.
I don't know who came up with each thing to do, but it's literally, you wouldn't change a thing. Who sat there going, and then Tajiri with the coach, and then Stacey when Jerry looked.
Amazing.
It's sometimes there's moments in time that don't mean anything.
Mm.
But when you watch it, you go, this is amazing.
That is what sports entertainment can and should be.
Everyone will forget this moment, and then they'll watch it and go, yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
There's not a single person who sat there going, I don't know. No, this is hilarious. It worked with the Eugene character as well. Yeah. And every single person nails it. Sam, I completely forgotten. It's not on my list, but it's on my list, and I'm putting it in the Hall of Fame for you.
In the Hall of Fame.
Woo! My moment, Sam, is, I tell you what, almost the complete opposite.
Okay.
My segment. It's about time we put... Actually, no, I'm going to call it something else. It's about time we put a proper promo. How about almost like a pipe bomb type promo? But not the
pipe
bomb. I'm going to go with what I would regard as the first probably proper pipe bomb, if you're going to call it that, on TV. Paul Heyman, Survivor Series 2001. The story being like they wanted to get heat on Vince at the end, and Michael Pierce said, "Well, get Paulie to get, he'll rip you a new one." Now I want to go through some of the lines. I'm not going to do them justice.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
But if we just talk about some of the things he says,
because Vince doesn't care. He's like, say whatever you want, just make me money, kind of thing.
I've waited so long to tell you to your face that I hate your stinking guts. And it's not just me, it's your children. I hate your stinking guts. Vince, it's Survivor Series. Your children are going to do to you what I've waited my whole life to see someone do to you. Vince, you are, help me God, the most disgusting, vile son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life. You took Hulk Hogan's blood and you built Titan Towers. You stole Bret Hart's dream. And with that money, bought yourself an airplane with WWF all over it. You stole Shawn Michaels' smile, took your company public, and made yourself a billionaire. But not a self-made billionaire like you said everybody are. I mean, everything in there is incredible. Your father, Vince McMahon, your father went around the country and shook the hand of people going, I'm not going to destroy, I'm not going to compete against you. And then that son would never compete. And when your father died, you competed. And with your ruthless, merciless, take no prisoner attitude, you drove everybody out of business, didn't you, Vince? It's just amazing. While still being on trend of what's meant to be happening before the pay-per-view. He doesn't lose sight of this.
No.
Like, do you know those ideas you stole the most, Vince? You stole mine. See, I don't give a damn about Don Owen and Sam Muchnick and Jim Crockett. I care about what you did to me and my family. How you stole my dreams. How you stole my legacy. How you stole everything that Extreme Championship represented. Because while Dunk the Clown had green hair and a rubber nose, Stone Cold Steve Austin was drinking his first beer in ECW. While Bobby Heenan and Gene Oakland were dancing around singing Tutti Frutti, ECW was producing the edgy TV that you named Attitude. Oh, we've got Attitude. It's just amazing. Everything in here is just gold. Like, my favourite bit is, he said Taz was going to end the segment by choking out Paul. And literally Taz went, well, when am I meant to do it? And he went, you will know.
You'll know.
You'll know.
You'll know.
Here's what he said to Taz. Look at Taz. Look at Taz. This man was a killer. He was a machine. He was a wrestler. A great wrestler. A real man. But wrestling is a dirty word to you, Vince. It really is. Your father built a wrestling company and you had to make it sports entertainment. We have to have sports entertainment. He was a wrestler. He was a great wrestler. He was a man. And now he's a fat, little, obnoxious colour commentator. And not even a good one.
That's the bit, isn't it? Not even a good one.
Oh, this promo made Survivor 2001 even higher than it could have been. It was already going to be something really, really special. But that promo from Paul Heyman is what made me go, as a 10-year-old, I didn't get what he was saying. I had no idea. I didn't understand. Because I remember I've been watching a month and a half, right? I had no idea that Vince had bought the company out. I didn't know what WCW was. I didn't know what ECW was. I had no idea. I knew nothing. Everything I've just read out, Taz, I knew nothing. But when you say something with conviction and passion and people going, whoa, you just sit there going, what's he meaning? What's he saying? What's going on? And that's when I went, this guy is something. Because he'd already been in commentary and I thought he was an amazing commentator. And I've gone back and watched all of 2001 and, oh my God, his commentary is just gold dust. It's just fairy dust. Everything. You just want to touch it and lick it. It's so wonderful. But that promo is the first time I ever watched a promo and just went, whoa. Because every other promo I've seen had been silly or daft or the Rock promo or a Stone Cold promo. You know, paid by numbers, them. Not saying the promos are paid by numbers, but paid by numbers who they are. This was like, I'm a real human being. Is what it is. And I absolutely loved it. So I've gone 2001, 2002, 2003 there, Sam.
Very
very me. So Sam, can I add Paul Heyman's promo before Survivor Series 2001?
Of course.
To the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. I'll add that in there. And thank you for joining us. What would you like to add to your Hall of Fame? What do you think of our 6 picks? Do you like them? Did you enjoy them? Do you know about them? Are you now going to go, maybe I need to go watch it? Especially the Eddie Guerrero Tajiri versus the Team Angle one. Go watch it. Go watch that promo. It's an unbelievable promo by Paul Heyman. Go watch the chairs. Just chairs.
Best.
It's
the best.
It's just amazing. Musical chairs.
It's amazing. It's hilarious.
It's so funny. I'm going to immediately watch it the minute we stop recording because I've forgotten how hilarious it is and I want to watch it all again, even though I had no idea what you were going to say and I reeled it off beat for beat with you. Absolutely. I love it. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and join us again for another episode of the Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.